Hello, Fit Pros. Hey there, you guys. Come on in. You know how we do it. Say hello. I'm so glad you're here today. Hi, I'm Kelly Coulter. Oh, let me move this out of the way a little ways. There we go. I'm Kelly Coulter. Welcome to the Fit Pros Show. So this is the show that I've put together for you to connect you to business, fitness industry information, business resources, and to each other. So I'm really excited to talk to you today. It's going to be a solo show, no guests, and we're going to talk about why automating sales doesn't work. So I see it over and over again. New business owners, micro business owners, small business owners, they want to implement all of these tactics that they see being talked about by other business gurus, or they want to emulate things that they see bigger businesses doing. And I want to talk about why that can be a mistake and what to do instead. All right, y'all. So let's get to it. So I taught the boot camp this week, and I spent a week intense with all kinds of new business owners, right? So we are all fitness instructors and personal trainers going out online or in person or doing a hybrid business, and we are making it happen outside of the facility. That's who this talk is for. If that is you, please give me a comment. Let me know that that is you and that you're excited to hear what I have to say today, because I am going to help you change your business. I'm going to help you change the time that you spend in your business, and I'm going to help you change the way you approach finding your clients. So give me a comment, say hello, let me know that you're here, and tell me whether or not, I am so sorry. I just got this thing. I don't know how to put it on Do Not Disturb. So we're going to have to figure that out. If anybody knows, let me know. Here's what I want you to put in the comments. Are you an instructor or are you a trainer? And are you building a paid offer outside of a facility or a gym? So if you are, in the comments, let me know, instructor or trainer, and then yes, I'm building a paid offer so that I can go directly to clients outside of a gym or facility. So that is who I've built this talk for. Individuals going into business for themselves, going direct to consumer. All right, so what am I talking about when I say, there we go, instructor outside the gym? Yes, yes, yes. So what am I talking about when I start talking about automation? Automation is these tactics, right? It's things that you see people doing, like stories that kind of build on each other and go on in social, or social posting, scheduling out social posting so that you have a post going up every day. That's an automated method of doing your marketing and your reach out. So social campaigns can be automated, and there are times that works and there are times that it doesn't. But today we're talking about how it doesn't work and why it doesn't work and what to do instead. So social campaigns is the first kind of example of an automation. The second would be a website. So a website is, it's something that you go out and build. And I see this over and over again, of course, because I had a website agency up until January when I offloaded it in order to work with fitness instructors and personal trainers full time. So you see a small business build a website, and they think that that website is just going to pull traffic in and automate all of their marketing. And so they think that a website is this full marketing strategy. Or they think that a website plus search engine optimization is a full marketing strategy. They think that people are going to search and they're going to find them, and that then the website is going to pull them in as clients, and that's it, end of story. Sometimes you see people building these funnels. So you hear people talk about funnels, which consists of like a landing page where a lot of people would show up, and then maybe they're going to fill out a form, and you're going to give them something free, and they're going to give you their email address, and then you're going to email them, and then you're going to be in like a relationship with them, and then at some point you're going to make a paid offer. That can be an example of an automation. So a funnel can be an example of an automation. Those lead magnets that you use to get people into your funnel can be an example of the ways that people like to try to automate their marketing. Is this making sense to you guys? Have you heard any of these tactics being discussed with business gurus and other coaches? I know you guys are out there listening to all kinds of podcasts, not only ones that I'm in, but also ones that other types of business coaches are in, and other sales professionals. So that's another way that funnels are another way that people might try to automate their marketing. And then you've got Evergreen Products. So this is still kind of within that website arena. Sometimes people will, you guys don't get me started. This might turn into a rant. Sometimes I will have people come to me and they'll say, I've had a website built. I've put 30 hours of content into the can. And now I've got all these classes sitting on this website. So they've done all these workouts. They've put a ton of investment of time and money into putting those workouts into the can, and then having this website built. And then they're like, why am I not making any money? Right? So they think that they can sell that set of 30 classes as maybe like a progression of classes, or maybe as just like a suite of offering, like how P90X used to. Well, even that they gave you like a schedule, but so they think they can build something like that, and then people will just come and buy it. So that's what will be called an evergreen offer. That's when somebody comes in and buys the thing, gets access to it, and then you move on and you look for your next client. Takes a ton of investment up front in terms of the website and in terms of time and production value on videos that you would do. So that would be an evergreen product. And that's another way that people like to try to automate this first piece of business building. And then email campaigns, you'll see that a lot where people want to write like a series of, 5, 10, 15 emails that is supposed to drip to new members of their funnel, right? And that is supposed to be what brings people into a paid relationship with them. And then there are things like chatbots, text. Chatbot is a robot that you might communicate with through Facebook Messenger or through Instagram Messenger. So it's when somebody starts following you and then they ask you to subscribe to their chatbot, and then now you're talking to like a robot, and it'll give you different options or different answers based on what you're saying to it. But it's an automated conversation, and it'll take you to different resources based on what you're asking about. Okay, so these are all automated methods. So y'all, I just have to say, after the boot camp, my voice is crap for like a week. So I apologize, but I talked so much last week. I gave that group like everything I had. I think I overwhelmed them a little bit. And now my voice is paying the price. So I apologize for the scratchiness, but I love you guys too much not to serve you well during that boot camp. Okay, so the thing about automations is this. Automations are tactics, right? They are things that you can do to help market yourself. But there's a difference between a tactic and a strategy. So a tactic is a thing. A tactic can work, right? But there has to be a strategy behind it. It's like the tactic is the little shark, and then the strategy is like the big shark that could eat the little shark or eat the little shark's lunch all day long. So a tactic is something that fits inside of a strategy. And what we do as new business owners, as micro business owners, we look at the big guys and we see what they're doing and we're like, well, I'm just going to do that. Because how else are you going to do it, right? It makes sense kind of logically to think, well, I'm just going to kind of emulate what I see Peloton doing or what I see whoever doing. But the problem is that we are new micro businesses. We are each individuals. I just thought of something that I wanted to say at the end, and I'm going to add it into my notes. Okay, so thank you for that. So I was saying that tactics fit inside of a strategy. And I was saying that we like to go emulate what the big guys are doing because that's kind of what we can see and feel and touch. And so it's easy to just say, I'm going to do what the big guys are doing. But the big guys have their strategy in place. So let's talk about what a strategy is and why it's different from a tactic. So a strategy, and I am not going to talk about it like this. It's not a vision and a mission statement and objectives and all those like 7 things that you see people saying, like a business strategy is. You guys know I have not been to business school. I am not buttoned up. This is boots on the ground, hard and fast information that I am bringing to you straight from the front lines of working with fitness instructors and personal trainers who are doing the thing. Right? So I am going to define a strategy for fitness professionals differently than how you see fitness professional or business gurus doing it. So I am going to say a strategy is 3 things for fitness professionals. Okay, so if you're taking notes, the first thing is your offer. So 3 parts to a business strategy. You have to have all 3 parts in place in order to move forward. It's like 3 gears that work together or 3 spokes on a wheel. I kind of drew it as 3 spokes on a wheel today in my notes. So the first one is your offer. Who do you serve and what problem do you solve? Once you know that, you know what product you can offer to those people. So you have to have an offer. That's the first thing. And I know that sounds simple, but the more I get into the weeds with Fit Pros, the more I see we don't have that in place. We don't truly have that in place. So you might be saying, I teach 3 classes a week and I do a $15 drop-in, or I do a $7 per session, right? That's not an offer. An offer is a paid monthly subscription or longer. I want you in long-term relationship with your people. And it solves a specific problem for them. Even if the problem is just they walk in feeling stressed and they leave feeling happy, I want you to know who responds to you when you put a message out there online and what problem you serve, what problem you solve for them. That's how you make an offer. An offer starts with the problem. So an offer can be a product, right? It could be those 30 classes that you're going to have them go through in sequence. So it could be that evergreen thing that we were talking about. It could be a monthly subscription. It could be an entry-level offering like a workshop or a boot camp or a challenge or a mastermind or a live cooking demonstration or, them getting to, watch you cook dinner for your family. Like whatever it is, it's an offer. And then a signature transformation could be an offer. So we've talked, if you've ever heard me talk in the boot camp or if you've ever heard me talk about the online fitness professionals offer ladder, I'll talk about the signature transformation at the end. And that's the idea that you know you have a specific set of skills and expertise in education, and you're able to go to somebody who is at point A. Let's do it this way. At point A, they've got this problem, they're feeling this way, and then you can take them to point B where now they do not have that problem anymore. So I gave this example a lot this week. When I was in the corporate world before I quit my job and bootstrapped my website agency, I was emotional eating all the time. So I was like really, really depressed, and I could not go a day without some fast food and some chocolate milkshake, and it was ridiculous. And every morning I would wake up and I would like my eyes would shoot open and I would go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do about this weight? It was like the biggest problem. I could not get away from the idea that, you know, I was failing myself. I was failing my family. I had so much guilt and anxiety and stress around this weight that I was gaining. But I also could not stop getting the chocolate milkshake because I was so depressed and I was self-medicating. So if you would have come along and said, I know how to keep you from self-medicating and I know how to keep you from emotional eating, then I would have been like, yes, 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 because I'm at point A, you're telling me you can get me to point B. That's a signature transformation. So that's an offer. All right. So went a little bit on a tangent about signature transformations, but that's what it is. All right. So you have to have an offer. That's the first spoke in the wheel. That's the first gear, however you want to say it. The second is an engagement plan. Some people would call this nurturing. So you have to have an audience. In the boot camp, I often describe it as you've got this big, I'll say it like this. I come from a big family. My mother is an identical twin. I was raised down the street from my cousins, and my family likes to get together, right? So we all like to like be together. And then our moms like it when we like all stay at the same house. And so we always call it like this, like together, like you're squeezing and it's getting really uncomfortable because they want us to like really just be in close proximity and be, you know, partying for weeks on end and nobody leaving. And it gets to be a little uncomfortable. So I always think of that when I say your ecosystem, right? Because you want to grow an audience of people and you want them all to be together, like under your purview, where you can message to them, where you can nurture them, where you can love them. What you're doing is you're squeezing them in closer to you and making them warm so that at some point when they are ready, when the time is right for them, they make a purchase from you. They come into a paid relationship with you. So you have to have a plan for assembling that ecosystem and then for nurturing it. Makes sense? You guys, let me know if you have any questions. So that's your engagement plan. That's your nurturing plan. That's how you bring people in to relationship with you and you come closer. You have to have a plan for that. So that plan may include social media. It may include search engine optimization. It may include email. But social media is not your entire marketing strategy. It's not your entire business strategy. Social media is just a tactic. It's a piece of. So Marlene, you said example of. Was there more there, or did you need another example for the engagement plan? I'd love to hear more about what you're asking there. As you are typing that, I'm going to move on and I'll come back. So then there is the third spoke in the wheel, which is your growth plan. So all of these things have to be working together and moving forward. It's like those motorcycles that you see that have two wheels on the front and one wheel on the back. If something fell off, then you wouldn't be able to move forward anymore. So you have to have an offer. You have to be making offers. You have to have your ecosystem. You have to be nurturing that ecosystem. Then the third piece is growth. You have to be growing your ecosystem. So as you're pulling people in and nurturing them and they're getting tighter and tighter and warmer, you're also adding people to the outside. So you're constantly scooping them in, right? And that's the growth piece. And there has to be a plan in place for growth as well. Not only growth within your ecosystem, but growth within your cash flow. So if the ecosystem is pointing toward that engagement plan piece, the cash flow is pointing toward the offer piece. Both of those things have to be growing, because if your business is not growing, it is dying. That is just a fact of business. Okay, so within each of those three spokes, you can have different tactics and those work. But if you don't first have that full strategy and understand it completely, then you can't move forward. So I'm going to talk to you about that and how to get there. And this is why automation doesn't work, because automation is going to focus on one tactic within one spoke. And we need to build this entire wheel at the same time before it can roll forward. So you have to focus on one tactic within each spoke, and they all three have to be working together. So I have got a little graphic for you. Let me find it. Sorry, guys, give me just 1 second. I think I lost it. There it is. Why won't it let me share that? All right, so if I go here and I click share, are you going to let me share it? Come on. I guess I'll just share my entire screen. Let me try it one more way, you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just move it over here. Here we go. Okay. Perfection. Okay, so this is a business level pyramid, but I want to make the distinction, y'all, that this is not the normal business level pyramid that you will see from like a business professor. And I'll tell you why in a second. So we are all at the bottom here where it's dark orange and it says growth. So we are all what I would refer to as a micro business. The Small Business Administration refers to a micro business as under, I think it's $1 million. It's a big number. So under 10 employees, under $1 million, micro business. And I like to tell my accelerators that until you get to 50 members and or $60,000 a year, you are in this growth phase. So that means during the growth phase, great question. So I'll get to that in just a second. I'll come back to that question. Don't let me forget about nurturing within the Facebook group. All right, so you are a micro business. You're here at the bottom. Your goal is cash flow, right? Because, and let me say this, your goal has to be cash flow during growth. I do not want you coming to me saying, I am going to spend a year giving away free workouts on YouTube, or I'm going to go have a huge brand implemented and I'm going to do all these things before I start charging people. No. That is counter to what you are doing. That is not going to help you to refine your message. That is not going to help you to find out what problems you actually solve. What happens when you go out and you try to build something without serving clients, paid clients, is that you are completely flying blind. So you are building something that you don't know you're going to end up with an audience for. You don't know that once you get to the end of a year of putting investment into a website and doing branding and teaching free classes on YouTube and whatever, you don't know that you're going to have something you can sell. Versus if you find it within yourself to just start going serving clients, now you're in direct relationship with them. Now you can start to understand what problem you truly solve for them. Okay, so your objective during this growth phase here at the bottom is cash flow. And it is cash flow because I want you making money and because I want you serving clients. I want you in direct community with your ecosystem. And so this next line right here where it says strategy, I know you can't see this very well. I'll make it bigger. This actually speaks to your question. So what are some examples you like for nurturing your ecosystem within a Facebook group? So I just like to say it like this. Whether you are using Facebook groups or whether you are using Instagram or Pinterest or TikTok or YouTube or Clubhouse or whatever it is, you've got these people who are following you, these people that are like within the sound of your voice. You have 3 jobs. You need to fill up that ecosystem, get as many people there as possible, get as many eyeballs on the content that you're creating as possible. And then you need to show up for them and you need to follow up with them. So that means that you consistently are coming on live. The way that I like to tell people to do that is have a weekly live show or have some sort of weekly show up. That could be a weekly email newsletter that's super useful. That could be a story every day that, leads to a point that you're making over the week or that feeds like a weekly theme. That could be a recorded video. I like live video in a Facebook group. Facebook groups are magic because they're a closed ecosystem where everybody can really get to know each other. You can position yourself as the professional and the leader, and in that way you can really define your relationship with the members of that group. And I like live video because it's interactive, because the people that you're talking to can actually ask questions and they're teaching you how to teach them. And there is magic in live video. There is magic. Think about this. There has never been another time in the history of the world where you could just broadcast the sound of your voice at your own will and people could hear you and ask questions. It is freaking magic. It is incredible, the opportunity that we have in terms of being able to market ourselves completely for free. Completely for free. But you want to do it live. You don't want to try to automate that because people are craving human connection, especially right now. So that's why you want to do live video. So I like live video within a Facebook group for that show up piece. And then the follow-up piece refers to the fact that you need to be in community with the people within your ecosystem every single day. I like to suggest that you are in the DMs 20 minutes a day at least communicating with people. That's how you find out what problem you solve for them. Okay. So during this growth phase, you are showing up, you're following up, cash flow, you're making offers, you're making money, you're refining your message, you're finding out what problems you solve for them, and then you are tapping into their language. You're hearing them talk about their problems. You're hearing how they talk about their problems. Now you know exactly how to go back out into social media and talk about their problems. So let's say that you teach Zumba and you think that the problem that your audience has is that they don't exercise enough, right? Like, you know that as a fitness instructor that you want them to exercise more. but you go into communication with them, you start spending your 20 minutes a day in communication with members of your ecosystem, and you start realizing that what they are saying to you is that they're stressed out or that they don't have time. And let's say that they're referring to that stressed outness in a certain way. Let's say they're saying, I don't know, I feel like I'm having a heart attack after work, or feel like, or I come home from work so exhausted. So you know that they're stressed out and that they need to work out more, and that would really serve them. But you're going to go into your group now and you're going to say, when you come home from work, do you feel like you are so exhausted that you just want to lay on the couch? You would not have known to say it like that unless you had been in direct communication with them. So do you see how that works? When you're in community with your people, now you know how to refine your message. Now you know what problems they have and the language that they're using to talk about those problems. I like to say that when you're in direct community with your ecosystem, what is happening is that you're getting to know one individual one-on-one over and over again, right? But every single time you really have a deep, substantial conversation with one individual, you're getting to know your entire ecosystem better, because one individual represents your ecosystem. They all are similar. They all look, act, and feel in similar ways. That's why they are engaging with you online or wherever, Clubhouse. It's all online. It doesn't have to be. You could be doing meetups, in-person meetups. You could be doing something in the basement of your church. You could be doing park workouts. You could be doing park informational sessions. So this doesn't just apply to online. Do you see now when I'm saying this is a strategy, not a tactic? This is where you need to be in terms of your thinking, regardless of what you're using to show up and follow up. So if this first level, any questions before I move on? Okay, so this first level of the pyramid represents where most of us are. And then that second level where it's a lighter orange and it says expansion, that's when you can start to look at the tactics that have worked for you during the growth phase. And you can combine those tactics with the messages that you know work because you spent your time in the growth phase. Now you can combine those tactics with the language that your people are using when they talk about their problems. Now you can start to automate, and this is when automation can work. But up to this point, you want to really, really limit the amount of automation that you do, because I need you in direct community with your people. Okay, and then the third phase up at the top, the one that's blue, I'm just going to cover this briefly. That's when your business is mature. We build businesses for one of two reasons, either to sell it or to pass it off to our kids. We do not want to work in these businesses forever. And I mention that because I want it to be part of your mindset. You're building a business that's either big enough to pass off to your kids and allow them to make something out of it, or somebody comes to you and buys it, like Peloton is knocking on your door, like, you're taking too much of our market share in New Jersey and we want to just buy you out. That's such a fun thought to think about, isn't it? All right. So I want to say one other thing about this. Does this make a sense, you guys? Do you understand now why automation is different than having a full strategy and where you need to be spending your time in terms of business development? I talk about this a lot. I really believe that Peloton and Beachbody and Les Mills On Demand are not our competitors, right? We are all individuals with a unique set of talents, with a unique personality, with a unique set of thoughts, experiences, education. And there is a lid for every pot. So every single person within the sound of my voice There is an audience for you, but you're not going to find them by sending out automated messages that are not informed by being in direct relationship with your community. So the really cool opportunity that we have as fitness instructors and personal trainers, as fitness professionals, is that we don't have to be Beachbody and Peloton and Les Mills on Demand. Those big offerings, they have to operate at scale in order to make money. So they have to have like 1 million people subscribing or 100,000 people subscribing or whatever it is, because their production value is so high, because their research and development costs are so high. And that's great for them. But that means that they're never going to go into certain markets. So you might understand how to help people. You might understand how to help smokers learn how to run. You might understand how to help people recover from labral tear surgery, right? Because maybe you've been through it, or maybe you've been a PT specializing in that, whatever it is. Les Mills on Demand is never going to do a special offering for people with labral tear surgery. And so if they say that the riches are in the niches, and your niche is people who've just had labral tear surgery, you have no competitors. Now, what's cool about that is when you really embrace that idea, now you can really start to see how you don't have to compete with these big box offerings. And y'all, if the big box offerings are competing for the 20% of the market that is kind of that mainstream, already has activity in place piece of the market, there's this whole 80% that we can serve better, more efficiently, more effectively, and we get to go out there and serve them. So here's why I say that. I believe that 2021 is the year of the individual instructor and personal trainer going out from under the facility and building their own business. And I believe that as a force of people, as a workforce, that we can move the needle on the activity levels in this nation, on the obesity levels in this nation, on the medication levels in this nation, because we can go out and serve individuals. We don't have to think about trying to compete with, we don't have to think about just trying to sell six-pack abs to 20-year-olds. And I love that. I love that idea. So I wanted to make sure that I said that before we get done. Okay, so Marlene is saying, what if social media is not a major part of your audience? Then how do you engage? So there are tons of ways to do this in an offline manner. You could be doing like a weekly informational meetup, or you could be doing text messaging, phone trees. You could be doing, I like the community class where you, every 2 months, maybe you do like a huge class in the park. So you go to the park, you charge them $5, $10, $15 for the class. You advertise the crap out of it and you get as many people there as possible. You make it like a party, like an event, like you do giveaways and you get sponsored prizes, and maybe you offer a prize of, some time with you. So you could do like a community class, and then you make sure that everybody walks away with information about how to subscribe to your classes, right? I like to say that you never walk away without an email address, because those email addresses are gold. That is your ecosystem, and you want to be able to email them at will whenever you want. Okay. So building a business, you guys, is the hardest and most rewarding thing you will ever do. I know that the things that I talk about are more uncomfortable than the tactics, because I'm asking you to get in direct community with your people. And I know that's more uncomfortable than just sending an automated sequence of emails. But you know what is more effective? And you know, if you've ever heard me talk about the 3 mindset shifts, what do I say? The size of your comfort zone will directly dictate the size of your wealth and your impact in this world. So think about getting uncomfortable. Think about getting in direct community with your people. Think about leaving the automated marketing tactics, especially the ones that require a large financial investment. Leave those off to the side for now until you are in that expansion phase of your business. Okay, that's what I've got for you guys today. I want to mention one other thing. Right now, for a very limited time, the accelerator program is accepting new people. So if you've ever taken my boot camp and you've heard me talk about the accelerator, I'm not going to give a full pitch today, but you can join. So if you left the boot camp and you had FOMO and you were really wishing that you had, you can join right now. That will not happen again until the end of June when we do the boot camp again. So if you have questions, you can get a questions call with me. Let me put the link in here for a questions call. If you want more information, it's at fitprosconnect.com/accelerator, ACCELERATOR. The accelerator program is my 1-year program. I take fitness instructors and personal trainers from employee to thriving, profitable online entrepreneur. So if you're interested, get a questions call with me. If you know this is something that you want to do and you've been thinking about it and wishing that you had done it after the boot camp, get in, take a look at that page. You can do a paid in full option, or you can do a monthly option where you pay 12 months the same price over the whole time. Lawrence, I'm so glad to see you here. All right, Jill. So that's what I've got for you. And let me put this in here as well. I'm going to put the accelerator link. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go back and catch the replay in just a minute. It says, I just got in and you're done. Okay, y'all. So there's the link to the accelerator. If you would like to take a look, I'd love for you to take a look. All right, you guys, love you. I will see you next Tuesday. And you guys, I would love your feedback. I'm thinking of this. I'm going to be doing 2 times a week, I think. I'm going to start 2 times a week again. Tuesday's business building lesson. Thursday is going to be like guests. So I like to have guests, and I don't get to talk to you guys enough, so I want to do both. All right, so that's it. I'll see you soon.